Spider-Man from 2002. I got a chance to watch this movie in a theater tonight. If you didn't know, they're re-releasing all the Spider-Man movies for the next Monday until all the live-action Spider-Man movies have been released in theaters. Chester is doing something over here. Let's see what he's doing. He's chasing his little toy ball thing. I apologize for him. He's been a really big turd today, and I've never wanted to get rid of him more. No, I still love him. He's actually getting professional training soon. Thank God. So what was I talking about? Anyways, yeah, Spider-Man movies are being released on Mondays. So I got a chance to see the original Spider-Man in theaters. I've never seen this movie in theaters. This is the first Spider-Man movie that I ever saw. I remember I saw this at my babysitter's, went home and told my parents that I saw it. They got very angry. At the time, I would have been, what, 8 or 9? They're like, you shouldn't watch PG-13 movies, they're not 13. They're big freaking babies, overprotective a-holes. I didn't see my first rated R movie until I was, like, literally out of the house. I was, like, 18, had just moved out of the house. That was when I saw my first rated R movie because my parents suck. So, yeah, Spider-Man. Yeah, and then I remember we rented it from Family Video. And they watched it with us, and they were like, okay, this isn't as bad as we thought. Still, we don't like this. There's, like, scary stuff in here. I'm like, there's little scenes. Who cares? So, yeah, Spider-Man 2002, movie, Spider-Man of my childhood. It really was. I remember even my grandma, or no, I don't know. Somehow we got the DVD to this. I don't remember how. I think it was a raffle or something. And we watched this movie a lot because we love this movie. I love this movie so much. It is such a great movie. And I was so happy to see it in the theater tonight. So yeah, let's kind of go over it here. Like I said, this movie is great. I'm kind of spoiling my thoughts on this movie. I will go over some of the negatives here, I guess. This movie is very much an early 2000s movie. It is cheesy at times. There are things that are coming out of people's mouths, and I'm just like, oh God. Particularly, the thing that really made me roll my eyes is the scene where they're in the hospital, and Mary Jane's like, oh, did you talk to, did Spider-Man mention me? What did you say to him? And he gives this big dumb speech about it, just over-the-top, ridiculous, like, what the fudge? Yeah, that drives me nuts. So there's just a few lines here and there that's just not the greatest. I think my dog's dying. We just took a walk, but I mean, it wasn't like that crazy walk. He's very dog reactive. He got attacked by a dog back in November, and he's been very dog reactive. So he overexcites himself. He goes really crazy, and that's really why he's getting professional training. He knows he's being watched. Anyways, yeah, there's some cheesy moments in here. I will say some of the special effects haven't held up. A lot really do. I was kind of shocked. I thought on the big screen it might lose some of its awesomeness because some of the visual effects wouldn't hold up. A lot of them really do. There's a couple moments where it really bad looking green screen, really bad looking, rubber people of the 2000s. But most of it actually really held up. There's a lot of practical things in here too. A lot of stuff that they would not do today practically. They would 100% do it in CGI. Particularly like there's the scene where Mary Jane's walking in the cafeteria and she slips and falls and all the food goes up in the air and Peter catches it. That was done practically. I think it took like 70 times, but they finally got it on like the 70th try. That's practical though. And that's not something that would be done nowadays. So I really do appreciate a lot of the special effects. Again, not all of them hold up. Most of them do, I would say. And then this is just very much a comic book movie of the 2000s. This is 6 years before The Dark Knight comes out, and 6 years before Iron Man comes out. So comic book movies aren't quite cool yet. I think The Dark Knight essentially and Iron Man really made comic book movies cool. At the time, this was just kind of for nerds. It was still beloved by a lot of people, but, and I think it had the biggest opening of all time. when it was released. I think there was like 150 or $60 million opening weekend. So I mean, it wasn't just all for nerds, but it definitely was seen more as a nerdy thing to be liking comic book movies at the time. So yeah, it has its moments for sure. And then it's just got some Sam Raimi moments that, you either love it or you hate it. Personally, about half of his moments I enjoy, the other half I don't. So, kind of take your pick on that, I guess. Yeah, that's about all I really got. Drink some water. Excuse me. Drink some water. Go drink some water. Chill out. As I'm making fun of him. Yeah, that's really all I got for negatives. I apologize. This review is more Chester than it is review. That's really all I got for negatives. I think Tobey Maguire is a great Peter Parker. Is he my favorite at this point? No. But I think he's great. I know a lot of people think he looks too old. He's the same age that Andrew Garfield was when he signed up to be Spider-Man. Both of them look too old. And I get it. You can't always have it. There's not that many Tom Hollands in the world that can be 18 and do the things that he does. Older guys in their 20s, almost in their 30s, they can. So I mean, yeah, and at least they have him graduate halfway through the movie out of high school. It works a little bit after that. It does bug me a little bit, but he is definitely awkward and nerdy. And, like, the moments where Mary Jane's talking to me, it's just like, it feels very Peter Parker-y to me. So I don't have an issue with Tobey Maguire. I don't know what my dog's doing right now, and I don't want to know. I don't have issues with Tobey Maguire as Peter Parker. I think he's great. I think the Spider-Man maybe could be a little bit more jokey. He has some jokes in there. But he definitely could be more jokey like he is in the comics. That's nitpicking, though. Willem Dafoe as Green Goblin is so freaking incredible. That scene where he's looking in the mirror and the mirror's talking back at him, it's so great. His laugh. People have issues with the Green Goblin suit, thinks it looks like a Power Ranger suit. I don't have, again, there's another thing, I really don't have issue with it. Does it look a little Power Ranger-ish? I guess you could say that. I guess I can see where you're coming from. But at the same time, so does Spider-Man. I mean, what's the difference between Spider-Man's suit and a Power Ranger suit? I don't think there's that much of a difference. So that doesn't bug me either. The organic web shooters. A lot of people hate those. I kind of love the organic web shooters. If he's going to get bitten by a spider and have powers, why not have all the powers? Not just say, oh, he can climb walls and, spider sense, but he has to make his own webs. I personally don't love that about the comics. I think it's cooler to have him organic. Superman, his power isn't just super strength and then he can't fly. He's got to make a jetpack. Iron Man is still cool. And, Iron Man is kind of the same way where he has to make his own things, but he really does not have powers. He's a human. He just happens to be smart. So for me, I don't like the idea that he doesn't have organic web shooters. It just doesn't seem right to me. So I like the organic web shooters. I really do. The score. The score is so good by Danny Elfman. It is phenomenal score. I was humming it. I was singing it as it was happening. It's so good. James Franco, I mean, he's not exactly someone we should talk about nowadays. He's fine in this. I don't think he's the greatest Harry in the world. But he's fine. He has his moments. Let's see. What else should I talk about this one? Kirsten Dunst as Mary Jane. I like her. She is the damsel in distress. At the same time, this is early 2000s, though. We're not at the time that we are at now. So I think she works for what she is. She is feisty in moments, She does have the... she is trying to fight back with, like, Flash and such like that when it comes to Peter. Her boss at the moon dance, she does snap at him. I mean, she's not afraid to snap at people sometimes. So she is a little feisty. She is still the redhead, but not quite what she should be. I wish there was more to her, I guess. What else can I say about this movie? Yeah, I mean, it's a great action movie. It really is. Oh, I also love Aunt May. I forget the actor, Rosemary Harris. Does that sound right? I think that's right. I think she's great. She also has some lines that I'm like, ugh, don't say that. And there's moments where it's like a little crazy with her. Sometimes I feel like she's kind of overdoing it a little bit, but I think she's really great. She definitely feels the part. Again, looking at the comics, I feel that she is that part. I mean, yeah, this is just a really good movie. I enjoyed it the first time I saw it, and I'm enjoying it this previous time that I saw it, an hour ago. It just really is a fun, good movie, really. J.K. Simmons, Jonah Jameson, perfect casting. He's so good, and I love the one scene where the Goblin comes in and breaks down his door and says, "Who's the photographer that takes pictures of Spider-Man?" I don't know. I just get the stuff in the mail. I love that J. Jonah Jameson is a turd, but he also has a little bit of morals that he won't just give out Peter Parker. What else? I mean, I feel like I've said everything I need to say. Excuse me. So yeah, I really like this movie. I was worried seeing it in the theater that maybe I would be like, this is a little too much of my childhood. It's not. I think this is just a legit good movie. And I'm really glad I saw it. I wish they had the Spider-Man movies like in theaters for more than just one day and not a Monday. I don't understand why they did that. Why not have it on a Friday or something? Yeah, that's a disappointment. But, it is what it is. I'm going to try to go see literally every single one of them in theaters. I was thinking about the first Spider-Man movie I ever saw in the theater, and I'm sad to say the first one I ever saw in theaters was 10 years ago, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, at the drive-in with Captain America Winter Soldier being the first movie that I saw, and then it was Spider-Man and then Captain America Winter Soldier. That's what it was. So yeah, I'm sad to say it's the first movie I ever saw of a Spider-Man movie in theaters, which made me sad, because that's like my least favorite out of literally all the live-action Spider-Mans. And I think after I watch all these Spider-Mans, I think I'm going to rank them. I'm going to really think about it. As of now, this is the only one I've seen in theaters. This is the first one. So right now, this is at the top. This is one of my favorite Spider-Man movies. I love this movie a lot. So yeah, I don't know what else to talk about. I like this movie a lot. There's just, like I said, a lot of great scenes. I love the practical work. There's a few jokes and stuff that haven't held up. Movie is, though, 22 years old, and that's crazy. That is just crazy. So yeah, if it's 22 years old, I was 8 when I first saw this, because I am 30 as of last Sunday. So yeah, I've been 30 for a week. This is weird. I really like this movie. I'm just, I don't know what else to say. Again, this is kind of like The Dark Knight for me, where I'm just gushing about this movie. I really enjoy it. I feel like I've talked more about the movie than I did Dark Knight. Dark Knight, I was just freaking out because I just seen it. It's like, oh my God, it's so good. It's incredible. I just love that movie so much. It's really great. It's really good. So yeah, guys, what do you think of the original Spider-Man? Is this a movie of your childhood, or is this new for you? What do you think of Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man? I think that is probably the most controversial, thing that we look back on it now. People think he's too awkward, that he's too old, all that fun jazz. Let me know what you think. Have yourself a great night. Don't do anything I went to. And hey, we will see ya next time.